You're special. Yes, you are. How you play slots is unique to you, but it's more than just every state or country's gaming regulations being different, some wildly so, in fundamental ways. 30 states have minimum theoretical payout limits. Not that that's what casinos use on their uh, quickly turn this off. Not that that's not that that's what casinos use on their machines. The state law is a limit, not a legal setting. To make this, it's a subtlety that goes over people's heads. It's just the lower limit. And another 13 states have upper theoretical payout limits, which casinos chafe at, to say the least. It limits them from being able to manipulate you. You might say, well, that's fair. you know, Limiting what casinos can do to you might seem fair, but you're here and you are able to, even with just one or two live streams, are able to take advantage of your casinos trying to take advantage of you. It's, I love casinos that manipulate its players because you and I are unique. But then there's there's Oregon, right? Which has a maximum theoretical payout limit, but no minimum theoretical payout limit. What's the backstory on that choice? And it's more than your casino being different. Uh, though yes, they all are. It's you that's unique. It's what you bring to the table when playing slots. And well, not a table. You know what I mean. Let's get into what makes you special in a few moments. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording, watching, listening, on the podcast. You might be on LinkedIn, you might be on Twitter, you might be on my Facebook page. Not my 57 Facebook groups, but my additional Facebook page, Professor John Friedel, Professor Slots. This is going out to all those and YouTube. That's what this live stream is headed. And if you comment, I should be able to see it in my software for all this. So please comment your questions and make sure you ask hashtag questions. But whether you're watching this later, listening to it, whichever, stick around and I'm sure it'll be of value to you, even if you are watching, listening to this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. If you have a question, use hashtag question. Let me put the banner up so you can see that. And it'll be running across the bottom of the screen. That's what that is. If you if you are on a small phone, you might not be able to read it. Using hashtag question is to help me spot your question to me rather than the comments to each other in the live chat. It gets a lovely conversation going. It's a community event. This is a community video. Friends check in with one another, and it's great that so many people are here and chatting with one another and making it a regular thing. Just love that camaraderie. And I also want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday weekend coming up. Yes, I'll be offering my usual Saturday at noon Eastern and then Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern live streams. But don't worry about not attending if you have obligations. Family is important. You can always watch my live streams after Labor Day weekend. I leave them up for a week. So best wishes, please, on a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Hello to everybody in the live chat. Just checking to make sure everything looks good. Good. I want to thank my moderators, Joanna and Jan. Please, Jan, get well soon. uh, uh, like I say, we talk all the time. Tonight is actually our Slots IQ community Zoom meeting, and Jan, maybe you should get some rest. But you know, but do what you want. You're neat. You're special. So you're special. Yes, you're special just like everybody else, but you're still unique. Each of you is on a slots journey located in different gaming jurisdictions and at various casino properties, maybe even more than one gaming jurisdiction, maybe even more than one local casino. And your primary gambling goal is unique to you. The top the top 3 slots gambling goals are having fun, earning complimentary gifts, and making money, in order from largest to smallest. Well, it's not the smallest, from the largest to the next largest to the next largest. But there are other smaller gambling goals, like mine, of being a slots educator. My slots goal is to first learn, then explain it to you in a free article, video, or podcast. Sometimes I learn things that help. Sometimes I learn what to avoid. I try to focus on what helps you, but sometimes what to avoid can be important, and I'll share that as well. And then, if appropriate, I'll slot it into my, pardon the puns, I'll slot it into my educational curriculum for my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. So let me just quickly throw that up for you. And so this is my landing page for that. And I got a couple of donations. I'll get to them in just a second. So this is 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. It's at professorslots.com/30 days. And I add this additional curriculum as I learn, because that's my slots goal, as part of my 6-step process for you to slightly adjust your unique way of playing slots to win more often and in a repeatable and consistent manner. So this is a long web page, but you actually sign up with any of the green buttons, and the green buttons take you here, which will show you the course curriculum. There's some of that. This is a little more succinct than the previous page, but you can see what it's all about, and take a look and see what the topics are, and how this process of getting through basically these 6 steps, which are really the first steps to improvement. And then a couple of bonuses, 3 bonuses, including my Slots IQ membership. We just get 1 month free. So yes, but if you and I look, well, hang on a second. Let me thank John for his donation. John, I believe I can share. I think it's all right. He is in Singapore. No, Manila, Philippines. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that. I thought traffic, heavy traffic. Yes, I have some friends in Singapore, but he is in the Philippines, and he has given 75 something. I don't know what the currency is, and I don't know the current exchange rate for the Philippines, but he gave me 75 something, which I very much appreciate. Thank you for the donation. It is much appreciated. Also, Francis, both of these are stickers. And John's is something that only appears on the live chat on YouTube, and it says My Hero. And then there's also, are these foxes? Maybe the images sort of animated. And for those of you who enjoy my cat here, she is back on the couch. And since I'm pointing over here, maybe remember to like the live stream so that it's a signal to YouTube to, hey, what's going on? And get everybody over here in the next hour or two as we talk. But as I go through my topic, and then I start taking your questions. Yeah, so Kiri is right there. She's been spending time over in that corner of the loft in my log home, if that's what you can sort of see log home, right? And it's not a fake background, not with cats walking back and forth. We're good, but not we're not that good. So yes, but getting back into it, uh, if you and I look closely at the slots gambling goals of entertainment, comps, and profit, each has multiple shades of gray, multiple divisions. Something that's popular, I'm going to jump into the deep end. I tend to do that. I try to be careful with newcomers, high newcomers, but sometimes, we just jump right into it. Something that's popular lately is getting bonuses. This is more so, I mean, bonuses have been around for a long time, but last year, the year before, it started being, centered on bonus round. There's lots of player appeal centered around bonus rounds, which casinos reported to slot manufacturers who then made games with more bonuses. So that kind of began to happen 2 years ago. And now we're starting to see that and more. So, there's a lot of player appeal. And so, first bonuses were expanded on video slots to have more than one bonus game, and how many credits you bet could give different bonus games, and it could be a bunch of different bonus games on the machine depending on how much you bet. Just number of credits for whatever denomination. How fun was that? But that was 2 or 3 years ago. This year, bonus rounds have become even more common. For some, slots are not worth playing unless people get a bonus round. So again, the casino industry responded. So many bonuses happen so often now, but the payouts have dropped, sometimes to less than what was bet. But they weren't finished. For years, online slots games offered the option of paying extra for a guaranteed bonus round. You paid the money, you would get a bonus round. But that doesn't mean how much you would win was determined. You weren't paying for a certain amount of winning. You were paid to activate. You paid for activating a bonus round. So this feature on online slots has been picked up by slot manufacturers for machines to show up at brick and mortar casinos, and they're starting to offer it. Sit down at one of those new penny machines, make a $35 bet, which guarantees a bonus round, and on a penny machine, $35 bet on a penny machine, and then typically win less than you bet. Woohoo! You got your bonus. And we love bonuses. So you're special. But there's a lot more going on. Comps have become more accessible. In states that have online betting, you don't even need to use your free play at a casino. No travel is required. You can go online from your home and spend. You don't even have to put your pants on. Casinos love that. Players are starting to worry about that. So that's two different things. I'm just going to interrupt myself here and say thank you as soon as it shows up on my screen. There it is. Thank you, Mindset, for your $2 donation. And I forgot to mention Francis donation was for $5. Thank you both. This is Mindset. You can have a couple of different kinds of donations on the YouTube environment, and one is a super sticker, which the first two were, and there's also super chats and a few more. I should probably, I need to get better at marketing and show you how to do all this, but I just move on with providing help and content. So Mindset says in his super chat, bonuses that rarely pay you what you spend. I feel your pain. Okay. The shock of this, and I've talked about in past live streams about how, Casinos forwarded all these many requests, more bonuses, and the slot machine manufacturers got those requests, and they said, "Oh, nobody said anything about making more money, just more bonuses." Okay. They assumed maybe it would go together, or maybe they don't even want money, maybe they just want bonuses. All right, we'll just give them bonuses and not money. Sorry. I think it was a terrible mood, terrible move. I don't know if it's swearing. If I were to say bonehead move, it's a bonehead move. But actions have consequences, and this kind of misunderstanding of what's going on, is everywhere, and it's really unfortunate to see um, kind of this happen. It's not just casinos that manipulate you or want to, right? Um, it's slot machine manufacturers. Yeah. Wow. So I don't mean to limit how you're special to the bizarre ways casinos are trying to manipulate you to give up your bankroll. I kind of jumped to the end before starting, jump to the end from the middle. You're unique because of the days you go to the casino. Pretty mundane. The times you visit, who you go with, whether you dine there or get a hotel room. You're unique because of what machine you like, whether there's a special game you're comfortable with or because you found ones you win on more often. Not to mention how much you bring to the casino or how good or bad you are at getting out of the casino with your winnings. All these things make you unique. Even without casinos and their slot machine manufacturers making changes all the time, like pricey, guaranteed bonus rounds or new game themes based on whatever's new that they hope will be a hit with slots enthusiasts. I saw, was it 4 to 6? If Kevin's here, he sent me the photo. Just sorry, John, Philippines. Kevin had sent me a picture of his local casino with the Brian Christopher themed slot machines, a little collection, and it was super cute. Quite the little display. It was awesome. We both agreed, no, not going to play those because anyway, it's maybe I'll have a live stream sometime later about how licensing fees have to be passed on to the player. And so somebody has to pay for that. And the casinos, even if they take a little bit, don't take all of it. And the slot machine manufacturers, even if they take a little bit because it's a leased machine, they don't take all of it. So some of that is passed on to you. And I don't fault Brian Christopher. Brian Christopher is our great leader in the slots channels community. He's breaking barriers left and right. He has a game that's a game theme based on him. He's breaking these ceilings for us, making it easier for us to grow. Well done, Brian. Well done. I'm not a writer. Without these pricey guaranteed bonus rounds and new game themes, you are already unique before those. But I mention them because, and please pardon my terrible description here, you're becoming even more unique. Can I say that? More unique. You're on a slots journey all your own. Yesterday, I talked to a potential client about their booking a 1-hour paid consultation. They have an upcoming trip to Las Vegas in September. They were taking my course and had already won more because of it. And they wanted to know what approach I might take in consults on visits to the Las Vegas Strip. Well, I get a lot of that specific kind of booking. So I explained how it would be different from a consult about your local casino. For nearby casinos, everything's on the table. Well, the only thing not on the table would be what you'd rule out about yourself and what you'd learned to avoid at your local casino. I told them I told this potential client I don't try to give people fish, but I try to teach them to fish. And there's a lot of different fish to like. I'm from Michigan, so smelt fishing is special. Google it, SMELT. But so is trout fishing in Michigan's spring-fed streams. Man, those streams are cold. And then there's getting out on a boat on Lake Cadillac, or maybe one of the Great Lakes. Make sure you had a bigger boat on the Great Lakes, and teaching you the right way to fish to get you what you want, to get you your favorite fish, is perhaps the most important thing of all, which for many of my consultation clients is to learn how to fish in a desert, you know, on the Las Vegas Strip. So you're unique. Your slots play is unique, and you're on a slots journey, either moving slow or moving fast. And my recommendation to you, what I try to do to best help my customers, is to encourage you to own it. Own your slots journey. Double down on owning it. It's yours, but it's also a journey. It's not locked in. You're not sitting in a fortress, defending against everybody. You are on a journey, which means learning something, sometimes, something that helps you, whatever that is. Something that you forced to learn, like maybe your casino gives a renovation or a new casino opens near you. Things happen. Change is a constant. You're unique, but your uniqueness grows and changes, hopefully for the better. Isn't that what life's all about? Oh, and I should mention that 1 hour, let me share this, 1 hour paid consultations. If you go to professorslots.com/consultation, you get to this page, and the evergreen button will take you to the book now, and there's tutorials, testimonials, and all the things that are involved there, frequently asked questions. And then if you click the book now, then you get to this site, which is basically I've got a few each week to sign up for. And so if you are interested in that, again, I'm terrible at marketing, but I'm on my journey and I'm trying to learn. So yes, let's get to the questions. Now, how this works is please use hashtag question at the bottom in your comments so I can spot it. To your question to me over all the back and forth that goes on in the live stream, even on holiday weekends or approaching holiday weekends. So please add that hashtag question. The second thing is, and I need to take a sip, I'll be taking your questions for however long you have questions. I have got a few that didn't get answered, well, that I answered on my YouTube comments or somebody emailed me. So I've got a few if you run out. But I do try to go for an hour and a half, but I have an upper limit of 2 hours. So it's already been 23, 24 minutes. And so I've got about an hour and 35 minutes before my voice gives out. So that's my hard limit. And I got another hour-long Zoom meeting tonight with my Slots IQ community, something you get free with the course at professorslots.com/30 days. So talk. So questions. Yes, we have several. I have several questions. Francis, yes, has a question. From your experience, how many jackpots can one slot machine give out in one day? Wow. If you go to, from my experience, this is the sort of thing that I get a little uncomfortable about. People would rather know my opinion than the facts. And in this case, why don't we go with the facts? There is one casino in the US that posts hand pays per machine with the time and the date online. And this is Kashada. Let me see if I can remember how to do that. I'll show you where to get it. It's all free to you. They only have the last 4 weeks. I've been one of my moderators for me has agreed to, who goes to Kashada, has agreed to download that uh, every 4 weeks, and so I have data going back until some middle of May. So if you go to Kashada, this is the Kashada website. If you can see my mouse, right? And if you click on casino and you go to slot machines right there, there is going to be something you can't see unless you are on a mobile device. Watch it change. Watch it change. Watch it change. Watch it change. Right about there. Boom. When you make your window small on a desktop or a laptop, it changes over to the mobile version of the website. Sorry, don't mean to throw you in the deep end of the pool. It's a thing. And the mobile version has this link right here. Recent jackpots over $1,200. And there are, gee, how many pages are there? 67 pages. Starting at today at, I think they're like 4 hours behind or something like that. No, they're a couple of days behind. Their most recent upload was August 25th. This was at subtract 12, 5:39, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 p.m., 5:39 p.m., 16 seconds. 5:36, 56 seconds was another one. 5:36:01, 5:30, 25, 5:22, 59. And these are the name of the machines, how much the hand pay was for. This is the denomination. And if you click on this, you will be taken to, let me see if I can do that for you. You'll be taken to a casino map, and it'll point out exactly where it is in the casino. I didn't realize there's am I not on page? Oh, I'm not on page 1. Thank you. So yes, thank you, Jan. Texas Tootsie. So this is updated as of, yeah, I was right, about 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So the last update was, the last upload was at 10 o'clock this morning, 10:46 and 4 seconds. Before that, it was 9 o'clock this morning and 59 seconds and 59 minutes and 24 seconds. So you can see 2 seconds apart, 15 minutes apart, etc. And so if you go to each of these links, it'll be the location. And if you click on anything that starts with an HD, that's the high limit room. That's in the high limit room, and it's telling you exactly where it is, the name of it, and the location ID, and the denomination. So if you download all this, and maybe you're not a spreadsheet user, I can answer your question, which is, again, that's the Kashada website, under casino, under slot machines. Make it small if you're on a desktop to get the mobile version of the web page, and then slot jackpots over $1,200, and it'll have the last 4 weeks with all that information. So how many jackpots can one slot machine give out in one day? I tabulated all this, and for a couple of days, do I have that? I might have that. It's a little kind of like bulky to sort of, I don't want to just like show you spreadsheets. I have found that it doesn't really go over real well just to show spreadsheets as much as I enjoy them. So that's the original, that's not that one. And that's my analysis from June 13th. And yeah, So I will share this. I know it's just stuff that I provide for my consultations, and it's going to be a bunch of numbers. But if you look closely here, um, uh, this is only machine ID 5646, and let's see, can I do this right? There were uh, this number column. There was yeah, let's see here. For this, it was 26 in one day for one machine. Well, it's probably best to do this other. Where is it? Ah, there. I think that's it. This is not working out as well as I would have liked. I have somewhere this information for this one machine and how many wins was it. So yes, there was 23 on one day, 16 on another day, 9 on another day, 2 on another day. So the days of the week matter. Then on yet other days, it was 18, 10, 3, 18, 11, 4, 26 on June 8th, 12 on May 25th, 5 on May 18th, and then 27 on the 9th. So 26 on the 8th, 27. This is all one slot machine. And I think the highest number we've gotten so far is 27 per day, but it drops to like 3 on other days. Depends on how many people are at the casino. Yeah. So 27. Now I did do more analysis and I just don't have it like brought up for you. Oh, yeah. So in a 4-week period, I did see it. I'm sorry for the analysis overload, but if I show you this, and I'll bring it over. This is 5646. And for these 4 weeks, they had 169 hand pays. And I was looking for slot machines that had the most number of hand pays, but 3027 had 162 for those 4 weeks. 4847 had 145. 5645, the machine ID, had 145. And if you go through the data, you can see what denomination that is, where it is in the casino. And I was just sorting through how many hand pays are we talking about here? And for this, it is it's about a month. Yeah, about 4 or 5 weeks. It's a month and 31 days, and 169, 31 days. Yeah. Although it does drop, some of them didn't get many hand pays. It kind of gets around 18, 19, and then it kind of hovers there for a while. A few of them only got like 8, 7, 6, 5. And so, yeah, I don't mean to, show you lots and lots of data, but it is pretty fascinating question. Good question. Let's move on to question number 2. Richard says, should I be concerned paying attention about my slots played now that the casino's April through August busy season is over? The next busy season will be arriving shortly. It'll start ramping up in October. But the down season, these cycles, that down season right now is not the lowest down season of the year. The lowest down season of the year is January and most of February, which is really a shocker because people go New Year's Eve and then just, it's January 2nd. It's just like somebody cut the rope and went on the, when they're climbing a cliff on their slots journey, and it's like, but it's been great since like before Thanksgiving, and suddenly January 2nd, it's all over with. Yeah, it is. But so that's where I focus things. One of the interesting thing about the data, the Kashada data, is that I want to take a look and get actual data on the ups and downs of what months are good months and what months are bad months according to the number of hand pays won. There's a caveats here, but let's not get into my doctorate on statistics. My doctorate aspects, the statistics aspects of my doctorate. But I do have a PhD and 7 other college degrees right there. um, there. Top row is graduate degrees, if that matters to you and doesn't hurt me. But I am looking forward to having a full year's worth of data so I can take a look at that. The other way to sort of get that information is go to the Nevada Visitors Bureau and look at hotel occupancy. They offer statistics on how busy is Las Vegas, per month, and that you can track that to see kind of how many people go to Las Vegas, and that might be able to correlate that to people gambling. There's also conferences and other times of the year, so all this becomes a statistical study. Somebody said I put my professor's hat on my last live stream, and I'm trying to keep that down on the table somewhere. It kind of looks like like the double hat for Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Busy season is a great opportunity for casinos to do some improvements while the numbers are down. Maybe send a few people on vacation, that sort of thing. You do the same. Kids go back to school right about now, and so casinos get a bit of a break. But then on the other hand, they don't want to have too much of a break because they start ramping up on sending out promotions to get people in. Thank you, Jan, for letting me know that you're feeling better. I was a little concerned for you. And Richard says, how much is your course now? Any discount during Labor Day holidays? Yeah, it's discounted, 30% off. Yep. And the price doesn't change, just the discount. The price has been the same since I started offering it early last year, March last year. It's just the discount that has changed. Thanks for asking. Camilla. Hi, Camilla. And John. Hi, John. And John has a question. When your local casino is now also online, yep, New Jersey has that. A lot of the casinos in the U.S. states that have online gaming, you can go like Delaware, for instance. The casinos have an online gaming component, which I think is great because then it's all kind of like going to the same gaming jurisdiction, and players are protected. There's that whole wild west thing out there about online slots, which I'm very much concerned about. But there's, it's just like come and gone, and who are these people? Where are they located? Etc. So when your local casino also has online slots, which is what I hope we all end up having if we have online slots, that's safe and secure as much as the casino is. I started playing slots, and the camera shows a physical slot with its progressives, same as the casino floor. Does the 5-spin strategy work too? 5-spin strategy doesn't work on progressive jackpots because all the progressive jackpots are linked together, and it's not about you playing there. However, the line hits in a physical casino would work because those are not all tied together for the progressive. If there's It's called a network. Slot machines are in a network. If the progressives and the progressive jackpot is the same, I have to break this question down. Okay, so that's in a casino, and you're asking about the 5-spin method for those machines online. And as long as I didn't misunderstand this by you saying there's a camera, so what does that mean? Are you playing a machine in a casino online? Or are you playing online slots? So these are some subtleties that might be taking place in the Philippines. And hey, the Philippines are awesome. Okay. They have rules that are better than Nevada. Seriously. I talked to John, looked into it. The Philippines are just like, bam, best ever. They just took all of the 90 years of the Nevada gaming jurisdictions, regulations, and they just wrote them from scratch. It's just wonderful, and really, and it's revealing too in what they say. I would, uh, you know, thanks, John, for pointing me in the direction of those gaming jurisdictions. But so you are talking about a few things. If it is a machine in the casino, which you're kind of saying with the camera, even though you're playing it online elsewhere, that variation uh, would have the 5 spin method for line hits, with the usual caveat. About 1 in 5 casinos have the 5 spin method. Even if they don't have it, the 5 spin method is a lot more complicated than I told everybody. No need to tell you, it includes the loss limits and a preserving gains strategy all by itself. No need to even mention it. Make 5 bets, walk away. First part's loss limits, the second part's preserving gains. No need to even mention that that's there. That alone helps you win. And not lose as much, and keep your winnings at the same time. If they gave a taste, that's on top of all of that. So you may have the advantage of preserving gains and loss limits, even if they don't have tastes. If they have tastes on the line hits for progressive slots, you can easily determine whether or not they do. Make 5 bets on 20 different machines. If half of them gave you a taste, then they have it. If less than half of them don't, I mean, people have gone to casinos and they were just shocked. When that first video first came in, you can just check some of the early comments. What is this? I don't know what this is. And they go to the casino and they're like, son of a gun, it's 19 out of 20 machines. And what the heck? And they're all, they could become huge fans, and I distinctly remember the person on the Las Vegas Strip going into Paris and going, I don't know. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. I did it myself. So yeah, that's kind of the ins and outs of that. Chris is making a comment, not a question. I'm listening from work, so for sure my priorities are right on target. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome, Chris. You're welcome. Hey, Juicy. They're being transparent, or at least implying they are. Would love to go there. Talk to John, talk to me, or just go look at the gaming regulations. It's in for Singapore. It's there's a few things to look for. I had a consultation where I was look things up, and that's how I know all of this. And you can spot it too if you want to. Question from Robe. Once I was able to set my plan and goals, then my slots play was more approachable and more profitable. Thanks to your course. You're welcome. Yeah, I get there's, read for yourself the many testimonials here. No need to go over it now. Professorslots.com/ professorslots.com/30 days. Wow, it's just really turning out to be a fun day. I have mystery piled atop of mystery. John has given me a donation, and why am I not showing that? There it is. And that is a donation in the currency in the Singapore. It is 250. And I will look up what that is on the currency exchange immediately after the show, but I won't bother you now. What's important is thank you for the donation. Uh, um, yeah, it's very much appreciated. Right. So, one of the questions I had kind of related, tucked away here. Let's see. So, Jan had a question on one of my YouTube comments. Put that away. Okay. There it is. And Joanna, one of my moderators, says Philippines use pesos, I believe. Yes, there is Spanish pesos. There are Argentina pesos, and I would not be surprised if there were pesos there too. The pesos in the Spanish pesos, the Argentinian pesos are referenced by the dollar sign, only they're not US dollars, they're pesos. It just has that number. And if you look at the live stream donations, they will put the symbol for it in front of the number that was donated. And I don't know what and then on top of all of that, I don't know what the currency exchange is, or even approximately. I do know what it is for Argentina because somebody did that and I looked it up immediately afterwards. Okay. It is. John says it is pesos. Okay. In the Philippines. But the symbol is the symbol that was shown. So Jan, yes, Jan has previously asked a question. Says, silly question alert. Do you consider a win taste after five spins more than you started with, or is it just any amount? So if you don't know about my 5 spin approach, no need to go into it here. It's easy enough to find. It's under my YouTube channel under slot machine strategies. It's the first one there. But you make 5 bets. You stop if on the first bet or the second bet or the third bet or whichever one, or you stop after 5 bets and after winning nothing, and you move on to the next machine. And and that's the first step. You stop if you win anything at all, not more than you bet anything at all. Now, you want to see if casinos have tastes that they give out. This is what I call it. What else is it? It gives out taste. It happens at about 1 in 5 casinos. 1 in 4 casinos. And I like to say, if it's not at least half of the machines, then it's not going to be worthwhile. It's not going to be worth considering that they have it. The second part of this test of trying 20 machines and at least 10 of them have wins within the first 5 bets, and some of them have, around 19 out of the 20, 20 out of the 20. That's happened to me. The second step is to see if it's profitable, because if they don't have it, they don't have it. They don't get it. They don't have it. Move on. But if they have it, but it wasn't profitable, well, come later in the day. Come when everybody's winning. Play end of row machines. You can work the system. You can take advantage of your casino that way, because the odds change throughout the day. Now, the odds don't change on a convenience store slot machine. Well, unless you're in Illinois, where they're very well controlled by the state. But if you're, in Tennessee, where they have no legal gaming, and you're at a big truck stop with 4-5 machines, and they run 24 hours a day with a line, you have no protections. There's no state gaming regs, and they can do whatever they want and do, and that's also not enforced by the state police, or not well enough. So there's no reason for them to get the parts of the central server that a casino would have, because not for 5 games. And if you're like in Australia, and you're asking me if they're going to have a central server. Yes, you. Oh, Isaac is dreaming. Yeah. Okay. um, if you're uh, um, uh, wake up. Okay, he's kind of like barking at it like a dog, a puppy bark at something. Anyway, we've had exciting days lately in the park. So, if you are in Australia and you want to know if your casino has a central server, you kind of have to have like 50 machines, and a lot of those don't. Sure. The big cities do, but out there in the wilds, not so much. And so it's an extra piece of equipment, which I pretty much have to rely on for my slot strategies. Now, there's more to gambling, playing slots than my slot strategies. There's also preserving gains, walking away, winner, being safe, all these many other things, state gaming regulations, so you can figure out what would be how your casino might be set up to take advantage of you. So then you can turn the tables on it and use my strategies, which are counter strategies to casino methods, and take advantage of them instead of them taking advantage of you, which is what I explain in the course, and people talk about it here. Yeah. Are we getting a bit of a competition going here? Great. Oh, no, my moderators figured out what 250 Philippine, sorry, I keep on saying that, 250 Philippine pesos. John, thank you for the $4.39 um, uh, US dollar donation. That is a lot of money, and I do appreciate it sincerely. Thank you. Right, so let's see, next question. Actually, it's another question about the 5-spin method. So let me put that in here. There it is. And RGLB says, do you have videos of your 5-spin strategy? I thought in your video you should show the people a live example. And so this is the playlist of those. The casino the casino operator no longer exists. So I feel like I could go in without, having an agreement allowing me to record and get away with it when the company no longer exists. And so I took, this is a playlist of those videos that are as on my website. Feel free to, watch those. It's shocking. It's almost as shocking as you doing it at your casino. And isn't that the greatest thing, right? These entertainment slots channels that show them playing and you watching them play is great entertainment. And that's fine if that's your goal, to live your life vicariously through others. But then people have, complimentary gifts where cycling bankrolls becomes important. They want to make money themselves. And watching others win is not that. So yeah, let me get money into your hands. Simple as that. Let's see. Oh, Dee Dee. Let me see if I can not use her last name. Dee Dee says the following. Dee Dee says, I live in Florida, about an hour from Hard Rock, Tampa. Does this information include here apply to that location? Thanks. So what they're asking is, does it apply to tribal casinos? There's about 1,000 U.S. casinos. The smaller ones in Oklahoma, I kind of stopped counting at 108. Included the casinos, but not the sheds. In any case, About half of those 1,000 US casinos, half of them are commercial and half of them are tribal. And, the biggest is tribal, uh, which is, I think, Choctaw Durant. You might think it's WinStar, but now they're getting in a competition where they're kind of like in competition with one another. They've got construction going on all the time, and so they pass back and forth, which with between which one is the biggest. This is something that Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods in Connecticut did 10 years ago, and that drove Foxwoods to at one point be the second largest casino in the world. And then that was a few years, just like a year before WinStar opened in Oklahoma. So yeah, it's a whole competition thing, and that's what's important about this casino. When I talk about that, this is an isolated casino. The next casino over is like 3-hour drive, and believe you me, casino knows it too. Knows that if you want to go anywhere else, you're going to have to drive a long ways to get there, and you'll accept worse conditions at casinos that you would never accept if there was another local casino. Um, uh, you know, Philadelphia has many casinos. They fight back and forth for you. They fight over you, and they, you know, this promotion, that promotion, trying to win you over. And both casinos lose and you win when that happens. But then if you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, closer to the bottom, there's something called Penn National. And Harrisburg is the capital. And I was on the ABC Evening News being interviewed about what's going on there, because Pennsylvania has return statistics. And so they go back since it was opened, and that local casino had the best return per month when it opened, and then it dropped. And I think that was 2006, something like that. And they haven't been that good since. You can see the casino business plan right there. And it's a shame. It's a shame to see that competition not working out. So yeah, what works at my strategies work at tribal casinos. My strategies work at commercial casinos. I get a little worried about sites with less than 50 machines, particularly like in Tennessee, where there might be 5 machines. But then in Illinois, they have up to 5 machines in bars and taverns because they have a gambling license, and that actually has return statistics. It's the riverboats in Illinois don't, but the bars and taverns do, and you can even find out what the return is for a particular bar. If you go to professorslots.com/IL, you can go to any of my articles for all the U.S. states, territories, and the federal district just by going to professorslots.com/IL or /2-letter postal designation. See what I mean about my voice? A lot of talking. And then you can just, see what your state offers. And if there's a way to take advantage, I try to put that in the article. If it's a kind of a short discussion, or I link it to another one, like for instance, I dug into the state of Washington, which is just talk about unique. And then there's Oklahoma, which is not just Oklahoma, but bingo machines in like Alabama, and Washington has some of those as well mixed in. And about 45% of the machines in Oklahoma are class 2 bingo style, but the rest are class 3. And so you start, once you start seeing this differentiation, once you start, on your slots journey, you start seeing ways to win. And that's the second one that I have coming up as bingo-based machines. Right. Mika, my casino seems to keep the pays enough that I play for a few hours and $200, but never get ahead of my bankroll. Comments? It sounds like your casino's treating you right. See, that's what happens. There's how people think about this, and then there's how casinos think about it, and how people think about it are usually like from 1990, and and casinos know that if they just take everybody's money, that people will just leave. Even if the next casino over is 3 hours away, well, I'll just save my money from now on, and I'll, make the trip fly to Las Vegas or something instead of going to Hard Rock Tampa. They casinos can shoot themselves down. Yeah, and so, uh, it sounds like your casino is making sure you're happy, and that's great. Um, that's great. Now, of course, I want better for you. And so there are some opportunities that you could look for, but that's what the other live streams are about. Yeah. Uh, so Richard says, what is your average bet amount while using your 5 spin method consistent, or do you change it around? So there's me personally, which is high limit. But because I have a full-time job now being Professor Slots, there's the business side of things, business play at casinos, and where my goal is to learn. And so when I go to a new to me casino and I write up a review on it, I will try the 5 spin method. What I like to do is try to keep the wins consistent because or the bets consistent, because I don't want to play like high limit and 60-cent bets on penny machines, and then after 20 machines I have a profit, and I have to think back, oh, did I just have one big hit on a high limit machine that paid for everything, or was it more consistent? So to not have to remember any of that, I just play 60-cent bets on penny machines, or 88, or something like that, less than $1 penny machines, so that I can see what is the consistent response to the 5 spin method. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Jane says, yesterday I went to 3 tribal casinos, class 3. Most of them are. Come home with half the free play dollars they gave me. Hey, 2 successes. They gave you free play, and you got half of it home. Excellent. That was a good day, but had to dodge the bus full of seniors getting into the buffet. Oh man, you got a buffet, man. I miss buffets. Okay. Yes. So one of the things you can watch for is these casinos are managing their reputations, right? And casino and seniors, it can be a sad thing, getting their social security checks on the day they get those, or the bus trips for seniors from, some, uh, 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 what do they call it? Living center or something like that. It can be kind of their time out. I mean, their time away, and assisted living. And but the casino would want them to come back, right? And they want to keep them happy, right? And that's just good business. And if it's legal, then it's legal. So if you have found that you get, half your money back on free play on the senior trip days, uh, keep dodging. Your slots journey has you dodge seniors on your slots journey. I kind of imagine going through the jungle and suddenly all these seniors are like on the trail with you, and they want to pass you, and you sort of step off, but not into the quicksand as they shuffle past. I get these visuals on pirate coves and treasure maps and all this stuff on your slots journey. Yeah. Hi, Linda. Welcome from San Diego. um, welcome to selling your house and be closer to Las Vegas. Good luck with that. I hope that you've spent some time there and that you will enjoy it. Right, John? When am I coming to the Philippines to explore and learn the slots here? You made a fantastic pitch when we were talking one-on-one. all those beautiful islands, but I gotta tell you, I'm not really kind of a sun person. I got my first 7-day cruise, and what did I do? I went to Alaska. And yes, the second one, I went to the Western Caribbean, but my sister had just gotten a divorce, and that was for her. And while I just sat in the shade and typed to my laptop and got my book started. But all these different people were interrupting me and saying, "How do I win on cruise ship slots?" And I'm like, "I'm writing here." "Okay, okay, okay." And, yeah, I remember thinking, I had like 10 conversations with people, and 9 or possibly 10 of them, I mean, about writing a book on slots, and I was trying to decide whether I should start a business and hadn't even figured out whether or not what I'd call it. Professor Slots is what it ended up being. Spoiler alert. And I talked to 9 to 10 people, and I mean, talked to 10 people, and 9 or 10 of them were like, would not stop talking to me. And it's so funny. I thought, wow, gee, you know, that's good, right? And I didn't realize until I got home that if I had been talking about some sort of, I don't know, cookbook or something, 2 of them at best would have been like, kind of politely sticking with the conversation, not 9, probably all 10. I think the 10th one had to go use the restroom, but he was like, "I don't wanna leave, but I gotta go," as it were. And so, yeah, I John gets a clue. That happens sometimes. Yeah, I wish John that I'm coming to the Philippines. Uh, Bach, I missed the response to an earlier question regarding how many jackpots can a machine give out. It's not enthusiast from Yamava won more than 10 jackpots at the same. So I'll answer it in a different way in case you heard the first response. I've won 7 in one night. It was over about 6 hours. I was having a competition with a gentleman named Bubba, not his real name, although that's what he called himself. He was on the other side of the high limit room in the downtown Cincinnati casino, and I would shout out 4, and he would, well, actually, he shouted out 5, and I was like 4, and he shouted out, 6, and I didn't say anything, and then he shouted out 7, and I was just like 5 and 8, 6, 9, 7, 10, and then he went to dinner, and I was like, he won 10 in one night. Wow. He won 10 in one night. We had a shouting competition across the high limit room, shouting out our numbers. That was my first night in a high limit room. I'd been to one 10 years before, and didn't have anything like that experience. I'd won $3,000 in 2004 on one of my days of that whole experience is in the book, which you get free with the course. And as I was leaving, I was like, just have, just a few minutes ago, this wasn't my money, which is not a good attitude, by the way. And so I thought, I'll just put $3,000 into a $100 machine and I'll bet it all. Make 30 bets. And, what if I win? And I didn't win anything. And that was a valuable lesson, probably worth $3,000 because how much money have I saved since then by not doing that? But then on another trip, I stopped at a convenience store and I got, I think it was Powerball tickets. 200 of them, and I think it was, and yeah, that was for $5,000, something like that. And then I took them home, and then I'm like, how do I even check? How do I even check all these tickets? For, um, yeah, it was like John doesn't get a clue. um, yeah, so I've gotten 7 at the same night. Somebody else got 10. We just saw on the Kashada data that altogether in 4 weeks, one machine had 169 hand pays. The next one down was like 166, and goes down from there. And I think like in one day, the maximum was like 23 in a 24-hour period. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that can happen. So your number of 10 jackpots. Yeah. And you may say it's a 1 cent dancing drums, but how much was being bet? I think they're up to like $15 at this point. uh, yeah, I initially was shocked that penny machines were not in the high limit room, but I'm getting over that. Peter says, how do you get more free play from Indian casinos in Southern California? By playing longer or high bets? Not exactly. 1 week ago today was, and it'll be taken down. It'll be unlisted, as YouTube calls it, tomorrow morning. So go watch it. It's the one that says ADT, how you're losing comps by winning. And basically the whole average daily theoretical concept is, if you go into the casino, make sure that you spend the normal amount for you. Don't stop by at lunch and spend $5. Don't use your phone and make a sports betting bet for $2 and because that can have your comps. If you normally go in, and spend $40, but then you stop by and you spend $5, it's going to be, it's the average daily theoretical. And so you're killing your comps. So if you can not do either of those two things that you discuss, but a third, which is just make sure that you don't go in and just kind of, online or otherwise, sports bets or whatever, just try to be consistent about how much you spend. I'm not saying spend more. I'm saying avoid the little spends and your comps will go up. And that's the whole concept of an average daily theoretical. Jan's told me where the buffet is. Oh man, I gotta go. No buffet in Milwaukee, Cheryl. Yeah, thanks again for the donation, John. And I'll do what I can. Linda, this is a worldwide broadcast. We have people in England, Australia, the English-speaking countries. Camilla is from Canada. Dumb question from Chris. Do machines change the weighing of potential winning lines based on the credits bet? Would the same credits symbols land for max 88 credits versus 8 credits on the game like dancing drums? Oh, wow. Yeah. Buffets were shut down by COVID. Yeah. Right. So question. Do machines change the weighing of potential winning lines based on the credits bet? I'll tell you what is legally required is that, rather, what's done that is known is that a theoretical payout setting is applied per denomination. Now, this used to be obvious when each machine had a theoretical payout setting and each machine had one denomination. So naturally, each denomination has a setting. But what's become very popular, and it's just sweeping through casinos, is to have slot machines that are multi-denominations. And so that principle still applies on a multi-denomination machine. I know this is not your question, but it's related. For a multi-denomination machine, each of those denominations has its own theoretical payout setting. Okay. That's known. What's not known is there a different theoretical setting for number of credits bet within a denomination? I can't find anything in the papers, in the presentations, in the research stuff, in the stuff the this is reports submitted to the sec.gov, which are legally required to be truthful. They don't have to share trademark secrets, but what they do say must be truthful, or they go to jail, or they get penalized, whatever. They don't want to have that, and PR nightmares and all that. I can't find anybody legitimate who says that the theoretical payout is different for how much you bet within a denomination. But I've sure experienced it systematically. For instance, I went to Hollywood Lawrenceburg, which is a former riverboat casino in Indiana, southeast Indiana, and on the machine next to the cafe, I walked around, found the machine most likely to be a winner because it was set up that way by the casino. And what do you know? It was. So I played for an hour on that machine at minimum bets, which was 90 cents. And my bankroll slowly climbed. Started out with $100, got up to $300. Then I went to minimum bets. So that was $2.70 on that machine. And I did that for half an hour. And my bankroll didn't continue to climb, but it also didn't decrease. I just, every once in a while I'd make a win and my bankroll hovered. I call this bankroll cycling. Then for another half an hour after that, for the whole 2-hour session on that machine, the last half hour, I made maximum bets. And my $300 bankroll shot down to like $50 over half an hour, because with minimum bets, with middle bets, with maximum bets, I won as much for each of those. But how much I won changed. With minimum 90-cent bets, I had $20 wins all the time. And then with maximum bets, which was 5 times more, 90 times 5, $4.50 bets. I went from a $20 win every once in a while. Was it $100 5 times because I increased my bet by 5 times? No, it was not. It was not quite twice. I had $35 wins, consistently winning $35. Even though I increased my bet by a factor of 5, my winning went up by less than half, or less than double. And this is hours of play. So I haven't found, there's so little good information out there. So little, as a researcher, as a physicist, as an engineer, as an aerospace engineer, PhD in the building, all of that, I like to find the research or the legal requirements or the financial reports submitted to SEC. Where's the data? And I can't find anybody who explains this, but there's a lot out there that goes unexplained because it's all trade secrets and all of that. But you can read between the lines and you can see this. So if you are finding that you make more, if you continue to make more with smaller bets and you continue to lose more with higher bets on the same denomination, I see that too. I know you have to sort of like make this adjustment. It's kind of like what I talked about with the unique, you are unique. You see this, I want to bet more, but I find I make money if I bet less sort of dilemma. And all you need to do is teach yourself patience and say, I will get my $100 to $300 in an hour. Not because it was one bet, but because I found a winning machine and I'm steadily increasing. Yeah, it'd be great if you just walked in, hit a hand pay and walked out. But, walking out with $200 profit is a good day. A good day. Right. Yeah. I don't have a lot to say about game themes because I don't think they matter. Um, Everything has a caveat. However, there are um, there are one of the caveats for um, game themes is if you are a advantage player and you read the game rules about watching the previous player kind of build up a bank, and you know what I'm talking about, right? You play dancing drums, right? But what people don't realize is if you read the game rules on dancing drums, that kind of visual effect of the bucket filling doesn't transfer to the next player. Once you take your money out and take your card out, the next person coming along, that's all zeroed out. But why is it fooling you? Because it was designed to fool you. It was designed to, well, I can, person just left that machine. That bucket's full. I'm going to take that money. And it never works out. And they're like, huh? And so if you read the game rules, it'll say, no, every player is independent. But there are other games where that's not the case, where the previous player fills a bucket and they're not being aware that they're about to get back a bunch of their money. They'll get up and leave. And then there's like all these people that are scouting the casino and they run up to it and musical chairs, only there's one chair, and other sort of black hat stuff that people do, and which I don't, it's not part of my brand. I don't think hate, I don't think uh, it's not what I do, and not part of my brand. So I don't like to talk about black hat methods. Right. So game themes do matter, but less often than people think. But when you're doing it right, it's a great method. However, like with any slot strategy, as I tell people in my course, any slot strategy, the more obvious it is, the faster it'll die, because that's just how it is. It's like a travel comp, for what is it, Zorkcast or Travel Zork, or some of the podcasts that are about British Airlines has this, free trip if you have this coupon or something, and margin something. I think there's like a episode, is it Netflix or something, they're trying to take advantage of the wording of these coupons and lottery tickets or something like that. I think it's just fascinating because that sort of thing is you can watch for it, and if you can verify it. There's a uh, I can't show this because it has advertisements in it, but I can tell you, a woman in Maryland won. Uh, yeah, I simply can't share it. But Maryland woman wins lottery for a third time, cites her game-winning strategy. And Maryland woman won her third lottery prize of at least $100,000 in 5 years, a feat she attributes to strategy and luck. A stay-at-home mom, 30 years old, won her latest prize with a lucky scratch-off ticket. End quote, I couldn't believe it when I saw how much I'd won, she said to lottery officials. I immediately called my husband and said we did it again. When asked by lottery officials how she managed to win for a third time, she said research. We figure out which we figure out which scratch off machines have been on sale for a long time, but still have a lot of big money prizes according to the website for that scratch off ticket. The information is available on the Maryland Lottery website. That game debuted in September, and this came out in July. And so the next year in July, and debuted, and still had 40 top prizes available. So there was an element of luck when it came to it, but it was also, I knew they sold a big ticket a few weeks ago. I was hoping to still have luck hanging around, prize money, et cetera, and et cetera. I'm still in shock. I can't believe it. It's crazy times. So yeah, there's you can look at these laws, make the most of them, and dancing drums, not to your advantage, but there are other games out there, and um, just read the rules and see what they say. Game rules are like they're all capital letters. It's written by a marketing person. They're not required to tell the truth, but it doesn't have to be too bad. I mean, you can if they, they kind of like this marketing person doesn't realize when they're giving away the goods, as it were, and so they will say, you know, previous wins don't apply. Every player is in a new situation, or not. And so you get good at reading those rules, and then you get good at getting to the seat first on a musical chairs where it's only one chair. And the hardest part is this. There's people scouting casinos doing the same thing. So there's each of my strategies, it's like going down a rabbit hole. There's a strategy, and then there's like, but I could use it this way or 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 this way, and you start like getting into this deep thing. Which, if you're new to my channel, hey, 5 bets, move to the next machine, you're welcome. But then if you use that as a assessment of someplace like the Las Vegas Strip on how they're doing on a Labor Day weekend, hey, Labor Day weekend coming up, use my holiday strategy on the morning after, on Tuesday morning, wherever your casino is. And yeah, you can do all that. Okay, so that's it. What a great live stream. You'll see me in my next live stream on Saturday at noon Eastern. Yes, I know it'll be Labor Day on Monday, but I plan to offer a live stream this weekend. If you can attend, great. If you can attend, great. But maybe it'll give you something to listen to during long drives to see family. In any case, have a great Labor Day weekend. In the meantime, watch this video on how to play high limit slots with a smaller bankroll than usual. Bye.